Good morning, students of Standard 12. Today we are going to study topic incomplete and complete dominance from chapter 5, principles of inheritance and variation. The laws of Mendel is generally followed in every breeding process, but there are some exceptions to it, and which is incomplete dominance and codominance. So, students, we can say the laws of Mendel is generally applicable in every breeding process, that means in every reproductive process. But there are some processes like incomplete dominance and codominance which does not follow these laws of Mendel. Incomplete dominance. It is the process in which the two alleles of a trait are not able to express itself, and as a result, a mixed phenotype is obtained in the progeny. So, incomplete dominance is a very important exception to the law of Mendel. It is actually the process in which two alleles of a trait are not able to express itself, and as a result, the phenotype which is obtained is actually a result of mixed phenotype which is found in the progeny. So, students, actually in the complete dominance, the alleles of a trait are there. Now, students, alleles, which we can see here, the word alleles are actually the contrasting forms of a trait. So, if we discuss about the contrasting forms of a trait, it can be tall and dwarf, the two contrasting alleles of a trait, that is height. So, students, here height, if we say here, then height will be the trait and the tallness and the dwarfness will be the allele. So, students, here the trait height has two alleles, tall and dwarf, and this tallness and dwarfness are the contrasting form of the trait, that is height of the individual or of the plant. So, students, that is the concept of allele. So, students, here the two allele of a trait are not able to express itself, and as a result, the mixed phenotype is obtained. So, here this point can become more clear if we consider the picture here. Students, here we can notice that there are two forms of the flower color. One is the color of the flower, which is white, and the other is the color of the flower, which is red. So, here white is represented by W and red color of the flower is represented by R. So students, here you can notice that here the trait is the color of flower. So the color of flower has two traits, red and white. But both of these two traits, red and white, is not expressed. Rather, the mixture of the red and white, that is pink, is expressed in the progeny. So this is called as incomplete dominance. So the meaning of incomplete dominance is that neither of the two, that is neither red and nor white, is able to express itself in the first filial generation, that is the progeny, and rather a different trait is, a different allele of a trait is visible there, which is a mixture of both the traits. So here the red and white is not able to express itself in this F1 progeny, which you can see here. Neither the red, neither the white is able to express itself. Rather here the different color is able to express itself, that is the pink. This is called as the mixed phenotype in the progeny, and that is the incomplete dominance. In flower of snapdragon, red and white flower when is crossed, then hybrid pink flower is obtained in the first progeny. So, it's the example which we have discussed a little bit earlier. The same example here is very common in the snapdragon flower. When the scientists crossed the red and the white flower of snapdragon, they noticed that the hybrid pink flower was obtained as a result of it in the first progeny. So, from this experiment, that is incomplete dominance in snapdragon, scientists discovered a new process which was not following laws of Mendel, and that was called as incomplete dominance. Since here also, if you will notice, you can find that there are two flowers, red which is exhibited by R and white which is shown here by W. So, here the flower is red and here the flower is white, and when both of these two are crossed, then you can notice here that in the first filial generation the progeny is pink, which you can see here. So, students, this is the example of incomplete dominance. Codominance. It is a process in which both the alleles of a trait is able to express itself at the same time. So, hence this is the another process, that is codominance, which does not follow the laws of Mendel. It is actually the process in which both the alleles of a trait is able to express itself at the same time. Now, since this concept can become more clear when we concentrate on this picture. Since here we can notice that there are two cows. The first cow is red in color and the second cow is white in color. So, when the scientists breeded the red cow with the white cow, they notice that the first progeny of the cow which was obtained was a mixture of the red, which you can see red patches, and the mixture of white patches, white color you can see here on the skin. This progeny was called as roan. So, students, here we can notice that both the alleles of a trait, where the alleles here are the red cow and the white cow, and the trait is the color of the skin of the cow. So here it was noticed in codominance that both the genes, that is the red gene and the white gene, both of them were able to express itself at the same time. Thus this process was known as codominance. So students, codominance also does not follow laws of Mendel. In blood group also, codominance can be easily noticed. So students, here also in the blood group A, B, AB and O, we can notice the codominance, where the gene I, A, I, B, I, O are the genes for different types of blood group. Here the gene IA, IB is dominant over blood group gene IO. So if there will be a breeding between the blood group AB, which you can see here, because both the genes are equally dominant, IA gene is also dominant, which has been encircled here, IB is also dominant, which is encircled here, because both the genes are equally dominant. So students, here you can notice that in blood group AB, both the genes express itself, and that is why the blood group is called as blood group AB. Now students, let us discuss an important question. What are the examples of codominance and incomplete dominance? The example of codominance is flower of snapdragon and roan cow. The example of incomplete dominance is blood group. Thank you, students.